With you today, sharing a topic that is so important. 3 ways to release doubt in yourself and doubt in your dreams. You know, growing up, always being a dreamer in my life, there was a point in my life where I was like, where are my dreams? Where are they? You know, I could not see that they were coming to me. I could not see that they were available. I had a lot of blocks, trauma that was keeping me from really believing in myself that I was capable of having those dreams. So if you were looking to stop doubting yourself, to stop overanalyzing, stop worrying about your future, about your life, and want to step into the present moment and trust life, trust yourself, trust what you're being called to do and want, then tune in, because I'm going to share with you 3 ways to build trust with yourself. Build trust with who you are, trust with your dreams and bringing them forward. And so for those that don't know me, my name is Brenda, and I help women reconnect with their hearts to align and live a life that your heart is calling you to live. So let's talk about it. Let's jump right in. What is the first way to build trust with yourself? And the very first way, and the ways that I worked with the women that are in my sisterhood that work with the women that work with me, is we start by looking at trusting yourself by keeping your word. How often, what happens is when we break our word to ourselves or we break our word to somebody else, we actually take our trust level down and down and down and down. So if you're consistently saying you're gonna do something and you don't follow through in it, you are literally taking the trust that you have, that was you were born with, birthed with, and relinquishing it, giving it away. So one of the first ways to let go of doubt and worry and fear is to start by keeping your word to yourself. So I always say start small, because when you're in the cycle of breaking your word all the time, let me talk about what breaking the word looks like. It looks like you say, you know what, I'm going to go and do yoga today. And the day ends and you don't do it. It looks like I'm going to drink 8 ounces of water today and you don't do it. It looks like, kids, I'll be ready in 5 minutes, and 3 hours later you're ready. 15 minutes later you're ready. These are all things that you're saying but not following through. So the spirit, the heart, the soul of who you are is like, wait a second. You just told me you were going to do this and you didn't. So you're actually lying to yourself. And when you lie to yourself, you diminish the trust that you have. So the first way is building your trust. So what's a simple way? And this is a process, right? Like, you got to build a foundation and then continue to work up and elevate, take the steps up to the top floor. So the foundation, to build the foundation, you want to look at what are some simple ways that you can follow through on what you're going to say. So if you make plans with someone, follow through with them. If you say you're going to exercise, follow through with the exercise. Say you're going to complete a task, follow through. So I always say in the beginning of this journey, this gets to be super easy. Super easy, because you want to build that foundation. So maybe it's taking a shower every day. Maybe it's whatever is simple for you that you can follow through, that you haven't been following through, and then build upon that. So if I look at, one of the areas that I was breaking trust a lot was actually with my children. And I was looking at, I will always, when I started my work and my business, I'll be like, I'll be done working in 5 minutes, and 20 minutes would go by and I finally would be finished. Right? So that's breaking my word. That's not following through on what I was going to say. So I get super mindful of when my children would ask me, when will you finish? I would be super mindful and very intentional and realistic, and I would set an alarm or just watch the clock so that I followed through on that. And that's the only thing I did for a time. So once I started really getting super hyper aware around that, and it became second nature, I started to bring in another area that I could follow through on, and another area, right? So following through. So first way is trust. To build trust is follow through on your word, what you say. Setting boundaries, follow through on the boundaries, right? The second way is releasing unprocessed or processing emotions that are stuck in your body. We cannot create joy and peace. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed, and emotion is energy in motion. So when we have energy that is locked up, stored up, and programmed into the frequency of fear, stress, anxiety, overwhelm, you can't just say, okay, I'm going to be happy, but you've got all this emotions that you haven't processed, you haven't felt your way through, you haven't moved it through your body, and it's still in you. You can't create joy because energy can't be created nor destroyed. So here we got to get into the feelings. What's locked up into your body? What's inside your muscle tissues and inside your energy field? So we can process that and we can release it and then say, okay, now that I have this space, let's bring in the energy. Let's create or program your energy to be into the emotional field that you're desiring. So how do you process emotion? I do feel you can process emotion on your own 100%. In fact, I teach women how to do that. I feel like in the beginning of anybody's journey, it's super important to have someone guide you through your emotions. Because if you're anything like me and many of the women that work with me, you're really out of touch. Your emotions are like just woo, like a roller coaster, or they're so far down, you're like, I don't feel anything, right? So having someone help you pull them out and bring them forward is super important. But 3 ways that you can process an emotion is by moving it through your body, so movement, by sound, and by breath. And so those are the 3 areas. And once you process and release and move the energy through, then you can step into and reprogram that energy that was all wrapped up in the low vibrational feelings. You can redirect it and reprogram it and embody the new feelings. Because now your body's in alignment with feeling good. You're working on building your trust. And the next step is deepening your connection to spirit, to God, to the universe. And so it's really looking at what are the beliefs, what are the stories, what are the lies that you're telling yourself of your disconnection to source, to the universe. Because when you know that to be your truth, when you know that you are in alignment with source, with God, with the universe, all things are possible, and fear and worry and doubt and overwhelm they just start to vanish. So it's really getting clear, really taking some time to be with yourself, to examine the thoughts and the feelings and the stories that you're telling yourself deep in your subconscious. So it's not a mental exercise. It's doing processes that bypass the ego, bypass the conscious mind, and goes into the subconscious and sees and notice what the programming is doing here. And one of the many ways people teach that is through meditation. And meditation is really powerful, but I also believe that it's having a coach that dives deep in there to help pull them out for you. So those are my 3 ways of really trusting yourself and letting go of doubt. I would love to hear your takeaways here. And if you want more information on how to do all of this, drop the word information down and I'll be happy to send you some free resources. All right, I look forward to